Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And a pleasant good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner, Tuesday edition on this beautiful Tuesday on the outside. Welcome in, and I thank you so much for sitting there and just enjoying as we discuss things together that's better for us. You know what I tell you every single day. Tell somebody to tell somebody when you want to know what's going on right here in Pensacola. This is where you need to be. We talk about those difficult conversations that's difficult to have, but you can feel comfortable talking about it here. We talk about the fun things and the things that are not so fun. But you know what my philosophy is, right? The only way we can better anything, we got to talk about it. The only way that we can get the message out, we got to talk about it. And today is not going to be any different. I want to say that I've got a young lady in with me today, and I'm sure you've heard of Impact 100 1,000 times over. But the fact of it is, we've got Miss Martha Holden. She is the president of the Bay Area Impact 100, and she's going to be telling us all about what's happened in the past year, what's coming up, how you can be a part of it, how we can all, and what do I say? Collectively, we put our resources together. There's nothing we can't do. And good morning, and thank you for getting up. I always tell my guests, getting up early in the morning so we can talk about it.
Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to get to share.
Well, good. Thank you. And you know what? I tell you, everybody have heard about Impact 100. Everybody heard. They say Impact 100. Then there's some people, well, what do they do? I mean, but you do so much. Right. It's so much that's offered through Impact 100. And with you being the president, so you've got your hands full.
I do. But I'm fortunate. I'm very blessed to work with a tremendous board and to work with all the ladies in Impact.
Absolutely. And notice now, she said ladies, right? So tell everybody all about it. So that some people may not know, have heard of Impact 100, right?
Right.
But sometimes we know the name,
right,
but don't know what's behind the name.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
All right. We are a collective of all ladies 18 and over, and we have an interest in bettering our community.
Absolutely.
Right. And so these ladies joined together. This past year, we had a record-setting 1,208 ladies that joined us. Yes. Our membership was 1,208, which makes us the largest Impact 100 in the world.
Oh!
Right here.
Yay!
Yeah.
That many members.
That many members, and so that many ladies in our community want to make a difference where they live.
You know what, Martha? I believe that because I think if you allow me the opportunity, when I say I use myself as an example, there's so many ways that I can put in to help, and that's what Impact 100 is showing right there. Because if you open the door, then it can really make a difference, and that's all benefiting the community.
Absolutely. So the idea is for each lady to put in $1,000 for the year, and that $1,000 gives them one vote for the year. And so collectively, we are able to give out over $1 million every year.
Oh my God! Wait. How much? $1 million.
This past October, $1.2 million was given out by these 1,208 ladies.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that meant 12 grants. Each grant is over $100,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And so while I, as a person, may not be able to give away $1 million a year,
but collectively,
in this collection of women, this collective, I'm able to vote and vote for who should get that big check. And the people getting them are the nonprofits that are so hardworking in our community.
And there's some of them that work so hard.
Absolutely.
And you can tell that they're really struggling for the funds. And I mean, with all that they do to make sure that they are above the line on what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
That's great. And you said you get to vote. So how is it that you collectively, you go out, you see who's doing what, and you all just vote on who's going to get it?
Yes, we have a system. We've actually been doing this for 21 years. And so I'll back up to give you a little history.
Please.
21 years ago, one of our founding mothers, as we like to say, Dee Ritchie, was in the car rider line waiting to get her kids, and she was reading a People magazine. And that People magazine article talked about a lady named Wendy Steele out of Cincinnati, who had formed a ladies' organization there. And that sparked interest with Dee Dee. She brought it back to her friend group. And those founding mothers, if you will, hoped to get 100 ladies to put in that $1,000 that first year. And they far exceeded their own goal with 233 that first year. So 21 years ago, that first inaugural year, we were able to give away 2 grants of over $100,000.
Wow.
So the premise behind it, though, is that all 100% of that $1,000 goes back out into the community. So
unbelievable.
we are an all-volunteer board, an all-volunteer organization, and so we
everybody got something that they go into that is going back. So if you're thinking anything, all that money's go back into the community.
Right.
Hats off to you, Dee Dee.
Yes, indeed. And so so these ladies pool their funds together. So we have membership season, which we're currently in now.
Right.
No invitation required.
Right.
And so ladies come together. We come to these meet and mingles, as we call them. Those are an opportunity to meet the other ladies in Impact and to find out what work we're doing in the community and how we go about doing that by partnering with nonprofits. And then we have a nonprofit come and speak and talk about what project we funded for them, what the impact of that project was. And so we have this membership season that ends March 1st. That's our deadline. And we draw a line in the sand so that we'll be able to tell our nonprofits how much money we'll be giving out and how many grants that will be. So we'll have something called a big reveal later in March. And that'll give us an opportunity to display that number. And then our ladies actually volunteer to serve on what we call a focus area committee. So we like to fund grants across 5 different areas in trying to have a balanced and thriving community. So the nonprofits themselves will determine which of the 5 groups they believe their project best fits in. So arts, culture, and history is one, environment and recreation, education, family, and health and wellness. And so the ladies then can volunteer their time if they want to serve in one of these focus areas during the summer. So they actually, let's say they come to the Health and Wellness Committee, they will get to review all the grants that are submitted in the Health and Wellness Committee. And so they actually, it's all member driven. They will actually determine what questions they may want to ask the nonprofit, any clarification that's needed from that application. And then we believe strongly that every applicant should have a site visit, a time to go out and talk to them in person, to see their vision, to hear about their project, see their enthusiasm. And then, so a subgroup of that bigger committee goes out to that site visit and comes back and reports to the larger committee. And they use that process to vet those projects and the sustainability that we believe the projects will have, the impact. And then we put forth finalists out of those summer committees. And then in October, we all gather together collectively and we vote. And each one woman, one vote. And so we actually have the supervisor of elections come in with their voting machines, just like we used.
And the vote in there?
Yep. And we vote that way. Integrity is paramount.
Robert Bender?
Yep. Robert Bender and Tappy are both there with their machines. And so everybody comes. We hear a presentation from those finalists where they tell us, what the need is within the community, and then how they're going to go about filling that need. And then we do that tough thing of voting because it's really hard to.
But you know what
pick.
makes it feel so? I'll say legit. Maybe I'll just say that because of the fact that you've got the supervisor of election there, you've got the voting machine. So it is all done. I mean, systematically on the map at the top. But you said something about the fact that when you go out and there are so many people. If there is a person who has a nonprofit and do not know how to get their nonprofit started, I mean, because you hear, I'll be honest with you, Martha, I hear, I have a nonprofit over here, my nonprofit over here. But
part of our mission is to know and serve the community. And in doing that, we want to help our nonprofits. And so throughout the year, we've developed things, times that we're providing them resources and One of those will be coming up in April the 10th. We have what's called a nonprofit workshop.
Right.
And so it's a free opportunity for any nonprofit to come and register, come and find out about our application process, find out about best practices across funders and funding groups.
Absolutely.
And then we'll have a guest speaker. It's very exciting this year. We have as our guest speaker at that nonprofit, Captain Newman, our brand new CEO, first female CEO of our base, and she'll be our guest speaker. Wow,
that's exciting there within itself.
Yes, yes indeed.
But you know what else I love about what you were saying, Martha? It's the fact that it's a group of women.
Right.
That are working together.
Right.
To make a difference.
Right.
And I believe that, I mean, because everybody's got their thought process in the same, you're all thinking about the same goal.
Right.
And therefore, we're going to get the ball across that line.
Right.
But we're using all of our ideas to put it together so we can benefit somebody else to help benefit the community as a whole.
Right.
I mean, that is a great philosophy right there that you're using. And I say that because I see so many people, I hope that you're listening to the ones that you have, your nonprofits, so that if it's starting off slow, even down to your board members, you need to have all of that intact to make sure that it is successful.
Absolutely.
And when you're doing a nonprofit, it's easy to say, okay, I've got my 501c3,
right.
but what's your 501c3 doing?
Right, right. And so in addition, we've added what we call Link and Learns. It's an opportunity for nonprofits to link together and then to learn more about both our application process and best practices among funders and among our recipients.
Right.
So even at this nonprofit workshop coming up in April, we'll have a panel of previous nonprofit recipients, and those nonprofits in the audience can ask questions about how they got there, how they got the impact grant, and what their victories were or what things they had to work on.
Of course.
Sometimes it is multiple years that a nonprofit applies before they are a recipient.
Right.
But during that process, they're learning. Right, right. They're learning about how to communicate their mission, how to communicate their project. And all of those things you're talking about the financials. What financials do I need? And those things are also addressed in that nonprofit workshop and in those Link and Learns that are in December.
So you're saying this, so I hear you say, because earlier you said that you did not, it's not that you got to go in, any nonprofit can come in and to learn. I mean, if they want to get involved.
Right. Right.
And the process for that is just to contact you guys? And
yes, they can go on our website, impact100pensacola.org, and they can register for that nonprofit workshop that's coming up in April. That is a free event, and it does include breakfast and lunch. And so,
really,
yeah, we're trying everything we can to make them successful.
Exactly.
And
I love that when you say make them successful. So I want our viewers to understand that if you have a nonprofit and it's slowly getting started,
right?
Maybe something has not been connected yet,
right?
That you've gotten your approval, but now you need to get your approval in other areas.
Right.
Maybe I said that right.
Right.
To get that so you can move forward so that your nonprofit can be what you have, that vision that's in your heart, that you can really bring it to visual.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then it can do what it has to do.
Right.
Because I hear so many people that want to do this. I got this nonprofit. I want to do this. I want to do that. I see you on the corner doing this. I see you on the corner doing that. What is missing? Right.
And sometimes a conversation with another nonprofit that serves a like community might be helpful. You might garner extra information that way.
Exactly. I believe that knowledge is power. Is never too much. Every day you can learn something different.
Absolutely.
But you got to be open and willing to go through the process to learn, so that you can be successful in what your plan is for what you have that. Because I think everybody who takes the time to go through the process, to go through the paperwork, to pay to get that nonprofit, you have some type vision there.
Sure.
And perhaps they don't know how to lay that vision out. As the Bible will say, write the vision down, lay it on tables and make it plain.
Right.
Maybe they don't know how to do that.
Right.
So I'm hearing from you that there are workshops, there are areas where they can be taught the proper procedure.
Absolutely.
So they can do what they need to do.
Right.
Unbelievable.
We recognize that a lot of times they're busy doing. And when you're a doer, sometimes you don't recognize the other things that you need to do.
Right. You're doing so much, but you're not doing it.
Right.
I love that. I'm going to use that a lot. You're busy doing.
Yeah.
But it's amazing when I hear you say this. I did not know that Dee Dee Ritchie started this.
Yes, yes.
I mean, you know, way back, I gotta say this because hi, Dee Dee, maybe I'll run into you soon, but I gotta get on the show. There used to be a show she did here.
Okay.
Oh, I can't think of the name of it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, she had a show on TV at night. Okay. And I never forget, used to be her sometimes sit-in when she was out and had things to do. I can't remember what it was. Yada Yada.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
She and this other young lady, they did Yada Yada. I thought that was so cute.
Yes.
The girl talked Yada Yada.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute.
And then to say that she's behind this after, what, 21 years now, 22 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time to be
Yeah.
successful like that. And we've got something that's coming up we're going to talk about as well, where people can just come out, mix and mingle and get to know more.
Exactly.
How they can be a part.
Yes.
That's going to be coming up. So we're going to talk about that right after we return from break. We are talking with Martha. She is the president of the Pensacola Bay Area Impact 100. Don't go anywhere. If you've got questions now, feel free, 850-432-7768. You can do it right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Do you have a house that you want to turn into cash? I'm Mike with Mullet Man Buys Houses from Pensacola, Florida. Maybe you inherited a house, are facing foreclosure, have tenant issues, or the house is in general disrepair. I buy houses cash, in as-is condition, and close in as little as 3 weeks. I can provide you a competitive offer the same day I walk through your house. With Mullet Man Buys Houses, you can find the easy solution to put cash in your hand as quickly as possible.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
And welcome back to this Tuesday edition of Sunshine's Corner. You know what? The sun is shining bright on the outside today. The weather's a little chilly. But you know what? I tell you all the time, don't fret. You've got all the sunshine you need. But we are talking about things that are very much so important to the community. Impact 100. And I love the fact, impact. Impact. I think that speaks volumes right there within itself, Martha. And the fact of it, how long have you been president?
Let's see, I think we're on 4 or 5 months now.
Really?
Yes, October was the start of that.
So you all vote your members in? I mean, your positions?
Within the board,
I mean, within the board,
right,
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking about the fact that we're going to get to the mix and mingle.
Right.
But we were talking about some things off camera I think we need to address.
Sure.
So that there are people who think they got everything in order. I might sound repetitious, but the fact of it is sometimes we don't have it when we think we do.
Right.
Even down to the fact with the bylaws, even down to the fact with their letter of intent, how they get all of this done. Things that they don't know, that these things are absolutely important, that you have these in order, even when you're applying to try to be that person to receive the grant.
Right.
So how do we, if a person thinks, okay, if the letter of intent is missing, let's talk about a letter of intent. So they understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So first off, I will say one great resource that we have is our website.
Okay.
And we have a page dedicated to the grant cycle, and actually several pages dedicated to how to go about getting these papers in order, so to speak. Our first step in the process, if a nonprofit wants to apply, is they need to submit a letter of intent by April 30. And that is a relatively painless form that you're filling out that is letting us know that you have everything in place in order to legally receive funds within the state of Florida.
Okay.
So do you have an FDAX that's current? Do you have a treasury letter from the IRS showing you're a 501c3? These kinds of things are asked in the LOI. An LOI does not require you to submit a grant application, but it is a required step if they believe they may want to submit a grant application. So that would be April the 30th. And again, prior to that LOI, we have that nonprofit workshop that steps through our application process. So that again would give them an opportunity to make sure they have their ducks in a row and have the documentation needed. And then the next step is the grant application itself. Once you've submitted your LOI, the grants committee goes to work and looks to make sure and verify that again you're legally eligible to receive funds. And then we open the grant application back up to you, and you're able to go through this process. Now, I will say that our grant application has been called a number of things that I probably couldn't say on air. But
it's difficult then.
It is. We understand that it can be very cumbersome.
Right.
And but the process that it leads to hones the organization so that they're able to communicate that message, but then B gives us the information we need to be able to vet that project.
Absolutely.
So we don't mince words. We understand that is can be a complicated thing. But the flip side of that too is once you have answered these questions, let's say in a Word document elsewhere, then you have your questions answered for any grant that comes along, and you can copy
and paste.
Right. So,
did you get that? Wow.
Exactly. So then that grant application is due June the 15th. And then we get started with that focus area committee to dwindle down to our finalists over the summer.
Let's put it out there again, Martha, that you may not get the grant this year.
Right.
You may miss it next year.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you need to stop.
That is absolutely correct. So, number of things. We have some people that their fifth time was the charm.
Right.
We have some people that their first time was the charm. So it's a combination of how prepared you are, what the community need is that you're filling. Those decisions are not made in a vacuum. So during COVID, for instance, we had some different needs, and that was recognized by our membership. And so maybe a first timer doing something that was needed got the grant.
Right.
So those decisions are not made in a vacuum. But I forgot where I was going with that.
It's okay, but that's good. But no, when you talk about these things with the need, where a person, if they go in the first time, second time, third, don't give up.
Right.
Because sometimes people, I myself sometimes when I keep doing things repetitionally, I say, oh my God, am I supposed to be doing this? Why can't I get this?
Right.
But if at first you don't succeed.
Right. We actually have some nonprofits that have come back to us and said, every year I intend to always put in for a grant because, number one, it's part of my process managing my nonprofit that I want to step back and look and see what my needs are, so that even if I don't get this grant, how do I fulfill that need if I've identified it as a legitimate concern in my organization? And so one person told me she's actually built that into her annual process that she knows she will do that.
Is there a limit on how many times you can receive?
There is not. We have a couple of organizations that have received multiple grants over the 21 years. And so you just have to have fulfilled your project. In 21 years, we've never had a project not come to fulfillment within a 2-year time frame.
Really?
So, and I'll say too, when it comes to awarding the grants, we very much enjoy the pictures with the big checks and all of that. But in reality, we do not hand over a big amount of money to the organization. We, again, want everyone to succeed. And so we pair that organization with a board member, a liaison.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that liaison helps them fill out the paperwork for the draw request, make sure that it is in the spirit of the grant. It's in keeping with what the ladies voted on.
Most certainly.
That we're going to get the project that you originally told us about and meeting that need.
But that's a great thing right there, because sometimes people in fear, or when they get to try to do that false evidence that's appeared real, they fear trying to get the paperwork done. Because I'll tell you, even myself as a layman in the community, I hear people say, oh, that grant is something else to fill out. Oh, that grant is difficult. You got to make sure you got to dot every I, cross every T. But don't allow that to deter you from continuing to go with your goals on how you want to make a difference in the community. Because
dig in and embrace
Dig in and embrace and continue to embrace until you get what you need. You know, because it's not going to come that easy. Anything is one of my philosophy. Anything that's worth having, you got to work hard for.
That's it.
You got to continue to do it over and over again.
You get out what you put in.
Exactly. And talking about things like that, well, coming up on Thursday, isn't that the 30th?
Yes.
Can you believe this month is already gone? This is 2025 is not playing anywhere. This month is already gone. Thursday is the 30th. And you've got a mix and mingle.
We do indeed. We have, it was actually rescheduled from
because of the snow.
Our winter storm there, Pensacola.
Say it. Pensacola. I love it.
Yes. Who'd have thought?
That's right.
So we did reschedule a meet and mingle for this Thursday at Devillers Square. 5:30 to 7. And so again, that's an opportunity not only to meet the ladies of Impact, but to find out what we're about, to find out how we go about doing the work that we do. And then more importantly, maybe to hear from a nonprofit recipient what project we funded for them and what impact that made on their organization, but also in our community as a whole.
Oh, that's excellent. I mean, you know, I would love to hear, that would be great to hear some of the ones who have received the grants before, to see the impact. I love that word. The impact that it had on what their dreams are. To make that difference in the community. So that's going to be Thursday, 5:30 until
7.
To 7 at the Devillers.
And we actually have 6 of those coming up still throughout the rest of our membership season. So we have one today at Azalea Trace. We have one at Devillers on Thursday, 5:30 to 7. Next Tuesday, we have one at lunchtime at V. Paul's. Downtown. And
that's my restaurant.
Each of these have food and beverage available for free. It's true. It's true. We have some wonderful hostesses and sponsors in the community that provide those to us. Again, since we're 100% volunteer and 100% of those member dues go back out into the community. So we rely on the graciousness of our hosts and our sponsors to be able to provide that.
But of course. I mean, every time I walk, I do a lot of walking downtown. So, oh, that's my restaurant right there.
There you go.
But everybody, it's an experience.
Yes. And then we have one on a Friday night at Stonebrook Golf Club in Pace. And then we have one at the Pensacola Museum of Art downtown, and then we have one at the Pensacola Country Club.
Well, you got to make sure you keep up with me on the dates, so at least I can have it out there what dates that the people can go out to mingle, to learn more about Impact 100, so they can also become a part of. Because I think that if we, with the number of people that I hear saying, I have a nonprofit, I believe that if we would dot every I, cross every T, do it the proper way, we can make a huge impact. On the community. Because it's all about collectively putting our resources together to make a difference. Because there are some of us who may not be in that area. Then you know some areas that need help. And I love the fact that with what you do, the amount of that grant.
And to be able to be a part of giving away over $1 million once a year is incredible. And to find out about the needs in our community that I personally had no idea existed.
There are so many.
There are. And sometimes we get in our bubble and we don't know what's going on outside our bubble. And so for me, part of my why be a member of Impact is finding out about my community and finding out about those problems and those needs that I did not know about, but then also finding out about those hardworking problem solvers, our nonprofits that are working so tirelessly to address those issues.
You said something there that's absolutely powerful when you said to find out the needs that we don't see, and there are plenty. The fact that you all do this and you don't just go by the surface, you dig deep.
Right.
To make sure that you're getting the resources to the persons that's really going to benefit from what's being done.
Right.
And I commend you on what you're doing.
Well, thank
I
you.
mean,
The
I
members
really
are
commend you.
tremendous. Yes.
Because I'm in the community, I see things, and I'm sure there's even more than what I see.
Right.
Because you can tell by what you see, even just in the community as you're there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And with the fact that you all do what you do. And I'll say to you, the viewers, if you've got a nonprofit, you really want to learn the process. And I believe with anything that's successful, there is a process.
Right.
That you've got to go through to make sure that you're getting it done the right way. And I tell you, that was something I heard a good friend of mine, Quint Studer, say about that. He said, no, if it's not this way, no. And I agree with him.
Right.
Because, and I'm going to be as transparent as I know how, because there's some who take it to the wrong limit.
Right, right.
You know.
Right.
I could get $1 million. Oh, never that $1 million. You got to show me.
Right.
I've got to know that you did exactly what you said you were going to do and not mismanage what's been given to you. So therefore, with the workshops, all of these mingles and the information that's there, that's right at your hand, is absolutely there for you so that you can be successful.
Right.
And I just think that's great.
And you know, we spoke to the honing that happens when a nonprofit submits again and again. The other thing that happens is because we do these site visits, because these members come out and see firsthand, you've got a pool of ladies that may be hearing about your problem and your solution to the problem for the first time. So you're expanding your own audience, and a lot of times you end up getting volunteers or people that come to you because they believe in what you're trying
doing
to solve. Right.
I agree. Somebody wants to ask us something this morning. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine.
Good morning.
I don't know if it's static on your end, static on my end, but I was just calling to say that your guest with the 100
Impact 100
Impact 100 Pensacola. My organization, we was one of the winners of the grant, and for our higher education program that helped foster kids once they went to college, they had a place to go, stay, and be able to have access to college. And we was able to do that with Embrace Florida Kids.
Oh, really? Oh, look at that smile on your face, Martha.
Really? I think we won it like a couple of years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, I think we won that grant.
And now you say it was to benefit the foster kids?
Yes. So, yes, once they graduated high school, if they wanted to continue with their higher education, we have a home now that's a place where they can go and stay, because a lot of these don't have families to go back to once they graduate, or those situations may not be suitable for them to go back to their home. So they have a home that they can stay in, and then they have transportation to get back and forth to classes on the campus.
Oh, wow. You see, look, Martha is turning red in the face. She is just blushing over here. I mean, just to see that. But, you know, that's what we're talking about. Even with things like that.
I so appreciate you calling in, and I've actually been able to get to tour that home. And so that is very exciting to see the benefit that those foster kids will be able to have and the support they need to be able to go to college. And
yes, and we truly appreciate it, because like you said, this is a way where the money is actually going out to the community and doing what it's supposed to do,
making it better,
actually enriching another person's life.
Absolutely.
So they don't be another statistic. And so the work that you are doing is just enlightenment and an enrichment on everyone that's receiving those funds.
Oh.
Well, I thank you, but I also turn that back to you to say your organization is doing the tough work, and boots on the ground. So that partnership is beautiful. Thank you for all that you do for our community.
Thank you so much, and I thank Sonshine too as well, being able to have this platform where you can come out and talk about these opportunities. I just love listening to her every day, reaching the community and reaching out to the people who's actually got the foot on the ground doing the work.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Martin.
You're welcome. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
All right, bye now. I mean, everybody, that's what we're talking about. If you would like to be a part of this conversation, as you can see, now there's a perfect example of what impact that Impact 100 has on the community. We're going to be back and talk about that more right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
There are many reasons someone may need in-home care, whether it may be respite care, them recovering from surgery, or having a chronic condition. Having someone dedicated and reliable is imperative. Supplemental Support Care Services was created to provide to those who are in need with quality care that they deserve in the home. Taking it a step further, our main goal is to ensure that Supplemental Support Care Services is where the love and care is top priority.
This is Charlie with RWB Spas in Pensacola. This is my #1 seller. It's the Bellagio Boo, which is aluminum frames and aluminum panels. We believe in the Charles Deming philosophy, which is quality, and we have the aluminum frames, aluminum panels, our thick inch base, and the latest, greatest technology on the market. RWB Spas, this is why everybody comes here. It's because they purchased the #1 seller in the country, rwbhottubs.com, and come meet Bambino.
Early in life, Tony found a love for craftsmanship through building furniture. Growing up in cabinet shops, he was drawn towards custom cabinetry, designing, and creating new and functional spaces. And to be able to share that passion with his clients, helping them turn their ideas into something special, making sure you get more for your investment.
Every kitchen and bath starts with your unique vision. I just bring it to life.
Master-built cabinets, beautifully handcrafted and customer designed.
Welcome back to the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner. You know, I said, and I know where I am. There's no hesitation of where I am. But no, what I was thinking about the fact of that Martha and I, we were talking about what impact, and I love the name. I'm going to really use that to my advantage. The impact that Impact 100 is having on the community. Now, that was something right there that I wanted to take another step to talk about.
Absolutely.
When Eric called about the grant that they have won with his job to help educate our children who are in foster care,
right,
who truly can't afford it,
right,
to go on to better themselves with college, right?
Right.
I mean, things like that. You see, that took me for another loop right there when he said that.
Right.
And other things like that's got to make you feel good that
Absolutely.
He's calling to say what a great thing it is that they were the recipient.
Absolutely.
And to see the kids with the opportunity. I believe in education.
Right.
I believe in education.
Right.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Study, study, study.
Yes.
Get that piece of paper. It takes you a long way.
Yes.
And but it's the fact that I never would have said that Impact 100 going that way.
Right.
You know, I'm sure others feel the same way. Oh, they're talking about helping our nonprofits, but they're not going to that educational level. Let's talk about other things or some of the other nonprofits that you've helped.
Okay. There are actually 101 different.
Oh, we don't have to go that far.
Yeah, 101 that we have funded over the 21 years.
Wow.
And so I know I've mentioned our website, but I'll say it again because if your viewers are interested to see what those projects are, if your nonprofits are interested in what types of projects are funded, what I need to spark an interest in what do I need to do in my organization, they can go on our website And all 21 years of grant recipients not only are listed by name, but by the project. There's a description of each project, and then there's the impact in the community of each of those projects. So even your nonprofits could go and see, again, can I get inspired? Can you know, what types of things might I be looking at? And your nonprofits can come to the Meet and Mingles. And see the ladies that are doing the vetting and find out firsthand what they're in it for.
Absolutely. You said something earlier when Dee Dee started this. You were sitting in a car going to pick up kids. Something that she read that impacted an idea that caused. Look at it today, 21 years later, the impact that it does. And I say this, and I can't say it enough. When you get people on the same page, collectively, volunteer basis, for even to become a member, that $1,000 is going to go toward bettering somebody else. So I would say, what better way than you can do your part? There are people say, oh, how can I be a help in the community? How can I do this? Come to the Mix and Mingle coming up on Thursday.
Yes.
5:30.
Yes.
Right there downtown at the Devillers.
Yep.
And find out all of the ins and outs so you can be a part of, to find something that can be beneficial for you.
Right.
And wouldn't that, how can, even by the fact of how you smiled when he called to talk about the fact of Impact 100 with the education for the kids that are in foster care.
And that's another thing that would have been outside my bubble. I don't know that I would have thought about that population and what their needs were had it not been for getting to hear a presentation from them, read their grant application, whatnot.
And that's another thing that I want to go back and just stress it strongly. If you've got an idea what your passion is, what you have in your heart, that you see a need that's not being touched, come, share, find out more so that you can also get that there. Just like that intrigued you, maybe somebody has something else that we've needed intrigue for somebody else to find out. But I say that all to say is that you are invited. It's not going to come knock on your door.
Right.
You got to get up and come find it.
Right. This is your invitation.
This is your personal invitation.
Absolutely.
Thursday, January 30th, 5:30 to 7 o'clock. The Villas, downtown Pensacola.
Right.
We know exactly where that is.
Right.
And I mean, it's going to be great. And then we've got a workshop that's coming up in April.
Right.
New memberships come in March.
Right.
I'm thinking off the top of my head now, okay?
Yeah, no, you're right. March 1 deadline for that membership, yes.
March 1 is the deadline.
Yes.
Okay.
March 1 is the deadline. We're in season now, so this is when we hold those meet and mingles and explain what we're about. But then we draw that line in the sand March the 1st, so that we'll be able to know how many funds we're going to be able to give away.
When you say now, you have how many members now? 100?
1,208. That was this last year, yes.
And I mean, and there's no tapping off on that. You can just keep going.
Sure we can. Sure we can.
I say that to say because I don't want people to think, okay, well, they've got 1,000, they don't need any more. That's the more people, the more you can do.
Every member means $1,000 is going back into the community, 100%. So we treasure every one of our members. And some of our members want to participate in everything. They want to do it all. They're willing to go all in. Other members have families, have full-time jobs, go on vacation, whatever their schedule of life is. And so they give their $1,000 and then they vote on Million Dollar Sunday and they don't do anything in between. And we need those members just as much as we need those that are willing to volunteer.
So you see that's a space for you too? Yes. I mean, no, I get excited because of the fact, let me say this to a mutual friend of ours. Maggie, thank you. I mean, Maggie is all right with me.
She's a rock star.
She is a super rock star.
Yes.
And it's just that the way she does things, and she's so easy to talk to. She's so warm.
Right.
She's so it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I appreciate her because the fact that she introduced the two of us.
Right.
Now that you and I are developing this friendship, that we can continue to talk about things, I think that needs to be shared in the community.
Right.
This show is doing what it's supposed to do. How can I help you if you don't know?
Right.
So we got to share the information so people will know what's going on there to help them, just like Impact 100.
Right.
That you can be a part of this. And I encourage everybody that's viewing us today to take that second step.
Right.
Take it. Don't allow one no to cause you to not get your second or third yes.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So please, I understand. Sometimes in media, they always taught us, you're going to talk to 10 people before you get a yes.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
You know number 10 is going to be it.
Success is built on failures.
That's it.
You gotta fail multiple times and learn from it.
Exactly. Most certainly, and don't give up.
Right.
And I can't say this enough, but what I'm finding out that's so important in the community, that there are so many members in Impact 100. My goodness. I mean, and there are women from all walks of life.
All ages and stages, and in sometimes all geographic areas. We have members that live in Hawaii. We have members that live in Japan. They sew
in Hawaii.
In Hawaii and Japan. And some of those ladies even join a focus area committee in the summer by Zoom, because they want to be a part, and they believe in this community and they want to see it improved. And
oh, really? So if a person lives in Honolulu,
yep, they
can be a part of what's going on here in Pensacola.
Absolutely, they can. Absolutely.
Now that is great. I didn't know that part. Yeah. See, there's ways all the way around that you can be a part of this. But anyways, what I want to go back to is talking about the fact of here with Impact 100. I love the fact that how Dee Dee started this out. And I got to keep saying it because I thought that was a brilliant idea to bring that. But look at the fruition that has happened over the span of time. But it's continually growing.
You know, we have in total, over 21 years, we have given away in Escambia and Santa Rosa over $17 million. $17 million from the ladies of Impact, from the people in your community giving back to the community.
17 million.
Isn't that crazy? And then this past year, UWF Haas Center did an economic impact study over that 21-year period. And when you add that $17 million to indirect spending or the tax base or whatnot, you get a $30 million economic impact over that 21 years.
30 million.
30 million.
That's a whole lot of money.
That's a whole lot of money. It's fabulous. So.
Oh my God, that's going back into the community.
Right. And so collectively, we are doing so much more than one solo person can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine, I was talking to him this morning. We were talking about the very same thing. The person you heard me on the phone with before I got on with you,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about the initiatives, the people that inspire us to do things to make us better.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that with your philosophy of what it is with Impact 100 is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That you've got to have that unction on the inside to want to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easily said, but your action is going to have to be, because sometimes it may not happen initially.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of it is you keep going and going until you see the difference that you want made. But all that's a need is here in our community, not only just with the education, not only just with what happened with COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. But just think about even the people that, this great big thing that we had, what you call it, the Pensacola? Even with the Pensacola. Things like that, we gotta look further, because I'm sure it affected some people in a way,
right,
that we don't see just from the surface.
Right.
That impact with the women there, that you're going out to see this, and now you're bringing them together with the rescheduling of your Mix and Mingle.
Right.
That's going to be on Thursday. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to tell you more about that, ladies and gentlemen, because I think what Martha and the guys are doing, Impact 100 is doing exactly what it's designed to do, to make a huge impact. And we're sharing that with you right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Welcome to Little John's Big and Tall, where tall men and big men go for style, fit, and comfort. We offer a wide variety of styles and unique brands that service all sizes from large to 14X, as well as tall sizes from large tall to 6X tall. Our knowledgeable staff are here to make sure you have a stress-free experience and answer any of your questions. Little John's has been named Best of Pensacola and Best of the Bay for 4 years in a row. Visit Little John's at 5700 North Davis, or visit us online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com.
It's time to find a health plan that can keep up with your life. A plan that makes getting care convenient, with doctors around the corner.
I can get used to that.
Plus, 24/7 access to care. Plans that keep more money in your pocket, with plan payments as low as $0.
$0. Looks good to me.
Let's find your health solution. Speak to a dedicated Florida Blue agent today. Call 1-850-393-7036 to learn more.
From wanting the perfect dress for the most important day of your life to simply wanting to look your best, let 2 Times a Lady be your saving grace. Whether you're looking for an elegant A-line gown or a trendy cocktail dress, our expert staff will help you find the perfect fit. 2 Times a Lady has been dressing ladies in Pensacola since 1983. Call us at 850-474-3778 or stop by the store at 2755 East Olive Road. We can help you find the ideal dress for your event.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
Somebody just made me laugh on my phone, okay? Look, you're back to the hottest spot in town. You know what I'm talking about. I said the hottest spot. I said I got on this sweater and I'm burning up. I shouldn't have worn this sweater today like I started. Whew. But look, we're almost done with it. Look, let's talk about, with Impact, the why.
The why. So as a member, I can speak for myself in my why. A lot of ladies are joining because, as we suggested earlier, they do want to make a difference in their community. For me, it's connection, both to my own family. I happen to be one of 3 generations of Impact ladies.
Okay.
My mom kind of watched from afar for a while.
Right.
That $1,000 check was a big check to write. She wanted to make sure that was really worth it. And then she joined, and I heard about it a lot. I heard about Impact 100, and she was so excited, like we were talking about at $1 Million Sunday, to be able to help give away $1 million. And so she felt very empowered. Well, I'd heard so much about it that when I got to town, I had to check out Impact 100. And I, again, as we said, learned so much more about my community and the problem solvers in our community, and so I felt connected.
Right.
And then my daughter graduated college and moved to Pensacola with an interest in working in the nonprofit community, and so she wanted to join to get a look at that inside the vetting process.
Right.
What does a funder look for? What are they vetting against? And so she participated in the focus area committees in the summer, and she was amazed that she was working with other women that were all ages and stages of life, but that they were listening to her as well. She felt seen and heard in this committee of 50 people or whatnot.
Right.
And so within our 3 generations, you've got a 70-something that felt empowered, you've got a 50-something that felt connected, and you've got a 20-something that felt seen and heard.
Of course.
And so that connection to family, the connection obviously to the community, and then for me personally, the connection to the ladies I work alongside in Impact, those members and those board members, and like iron sharpens iron, to be able to work and feel empowered around all these ladies that do have the same goal that you do.
No doubt.
You know, for me,
I think that also with so many, the array of women, you learn about different cultures.
Absolutely.
And you know what this culture may do different from this, and when you look at the bottom line, though, I think this is me. We all have the same basics.
Right. Again, it's making you get outside that bubble.
You got to get outside that bubble. You got to get outside of that, and understand that it's not just that way, but you can see the full beauty of.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that is absolutely wonderful, because I'm sure with how many members?
1,208.
1,000. You got somebody from everywhere.
Absolutely.
And then to find out that even if you would like to be a part, Honolulu, Canada, New York, anywhere, you can be a part to put mark right here, in Escambia, Santa Rosa County. And that is a huge impact. I just love it. I just love using that word. The impact that you guys are doing. And I tell you, Martha, I can't thank you enough, because I've learned even more today.
Good.
I really, really have. And the fact that I can share this with those who are interested as well as I want to tell everybody, if you don't get to see the show today, tell your friends. It will be back on this afternoon at 6 o'clock, so that we can share for those who are at work, can't watch it right now,
Right.
that you can see this show this afternoon at 6 o'clock, and you can get all this powerful information that we're sharing, how you can be a part of making an impact right here at home. And don't forget about Thursday, January the 30th,
right?
5:30 p.m.
Right.
Devillers,
right?
Right there on Deviller Street,
right? Right.
And it's going to be the Mix and Mingle.
Right.
We got it up right now. See that the Meet and Mingle. I said mix.
That
the
either
meet
one
and
works.
mingle.
Yes.
And it's going to be coming up this week. This Thursday, and this month is gone. My. So we're into right now. We're going to invite the ladies who would like to become a part. You can be a part now because registration, or should I say initiations?
Membership deadline is March 1st. Right.
So you can do that now.
Right.
And then prepare for the workshop that's coming up in April.
Right. If you're a nonprofit,
Right.
you're welcome to come to a Meet and Mingle. You almost had me say it. To a Meet and Mingle as well as a nonprofit, to be able to see. You're going to hear from a recipient that is another nonprofit.
Right.
So you still get an insight there. So,
Absolutely. And I tell you, Martha, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing me to share. I love sharing our story.
Oh, but of course, and this won't be the last time.
Good.
Because I believe that, knowledge is power. And once we share that with everybody, that we can only get stronger as a community. And I call that togetherness.
Absolutely.
And I thank you so much. Thank you, Maggie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic day. We've shared a lot of information today that's will impact us right here at home. So don't forget about Thursday, the Mix and Mingle that's going to be there at the Villas, downtown Pensacola, off the Villa Street, 5:30 until 7. Make sure you go in to find out some of the details that perhaps you're missing out on, that you can advance your nonprofit to do even better with some of the needs that maybe you think that are overlooked right here at home. I've got to say to you, and I appreciate the fact every single day that you allow me to come into your home, come into your job, into your car, because some people tell me they watch it in their car. But I thank you for allowing me to be that information link for you, and that's what we do. I've got to leave you, but I'm going to leave you as I do every single day, because I believe this from my heart. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember to keep God first in whatever you do. I believe that if you do that and handle it that way, no matter what it is, you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow at 9 o'clock for another date, and we're going to be talking with tomorrow Warrenton Academy now, Preparatory Academy. We got the principal and the assistant principal coming in to tell you what they've got coming for us tomorrow. So until then, my friends, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.